And what are urban legends?
All right. So you basically gave me a question which I'm going to talk about today. It's so coincidental, right? So it's a good segue for our discussion. So where are we going, right? And is it like the points or the journey or spiritual experiences or something else? So to me, I have a very simple understanding on all these things. The so-called esoteric, we sort of read from the books, esoteric ideas, knowledge, experience, God, heaven, brighter world, so many other things. Basically, I don't personally, I do not subscribe to any of those things. I'll tell you why. So life as such, if I have to define what is life, life is all about experience. And life, whether we are subjected to any spiritual practice or not, we go through so many situations, so much. According to Buddha, life is all struggle. According to someone else, life is all pleasure. According to someone else, life is all about experiencing the divine. So, depending on which background or to what one subscribes to, uh, they kind of come up with this definition for life. Life is all about reaching heaven for someone, right? But whatever the philosophy, whatever the ideology may be, the one thing constant about is life is all about, it's an experience. We go through all this, several experiences, emotions, ups and downs, and health situations, wealth situations, family situations. Everyone goes through it. There is no exceptions here. One story uh, about one guy. His name is Kalidasa from India. He's known for his philosophy or intelligence and poetry. So if we look at the early life of Kalidasa, he was like a uh, he never studied. He could not phrase a sentence. So what they say, like he's like a uh, he was the
Savant,
most huh?
like a savant.
Yeah. So he never read anything. He did not know how to speak. He did not know how to converse. He did not know anything. Like the most dumbest guy you can meet. So one day, a king wants to marry his daughter, and he looks for a lot of alliances, and the daughter rejects all those alliances. So king gets so mad at the end. They uh, he orders the his minister to find the most idiotic guy in the kingdom. Bring him to me. I'll get him married to my daughter. So finally, he finds this Kalidasa, and he gets married to this princess. And when the princess uh, tries to attract him, he doesn't know anything. He's like, so then finally he falls in love with the princess. One day he wants to, maybe I'm mixing up the stories, but that's fine. Let's continue with the story. So one day he was so engrossed in her love. And she had to go somewhere to another town. And there is a huge rain and the flood, but he wants to meet her. So he crosses the river, the flood, and he finds a log. He holds the log and he crosses the river. And when he reaches her house, there is a something, a rope hanging from the window. He catches the rope and gets into her room. And she was like surprised. How did you come here? Oh, somehow you knew that I'm going to come. You left a rope hanging over the window. And they go out and check. It was not a rope, it was a snake hanging. But in his desire, in his eagerness to meet her, and then he finds that the log he thought he was holding on to was a corpse. And the wife says, had you thought about God just like how you thought about me, you would have become a saint. And he realizes that he is looking at something which is very short lived. All this attraction will go away at some point, and then he becomes a saint. But on the if you look at on one side of it, if she had prepped him properly, because she's a very intelligent lady, princess, well read, she could have prepped him in such a way that they could have lived a life together, as a ennobling life. She could made him literally religious or spiritual, so called, and they could have lived. He could have achieved the same thing without leaving his wife. But he left his wife, right? And he became what is called ascetic. So, but anyways, so what is life unfolds itself, whether you like it or not. But for a person who is meditating, what is meditation to me? Meditation is not concentration, focus, it's not about thinking God or non-God or not all those things. That's not what meditation is. Meditation is paying at sort of becoming aware of this inner essence, you can call it. But this one is unfolds as we meditate. Just like how the life is unfolding, this is also unfolding. As it unfolds, if we are able to capture that unfolding, our consciousness expands. There's only one exercise available for the expansion of consciousness is meditation. We can read all the scriptures, all the religions of the world. It's not going to expand your consciousness. Even if I enhance my intelligence, it's not going to expand my consciousness. Right now, the computers are more intelligent than us. But it is lacking this consciousness. That's what makes us different from any other intelligent being on the earth. So this consciousness, as it expands and it's unfolding, we reach a state where we become totally cooperative and open to this unfolding. That means we offer no resistance for this unfolding. As we offer no resistance to this unfolding, then that offering no resistance is what I call as surrender. Surrender doesn't mean we give away. Surrender is an active participation in this journey of unfolding and cooperating, offering no resistance. But it's an active participation. So people think very, flippantly, I should say, oh, I surrender to the God, Lord, my God, my Lord. So many things we'll say. I surrender to Krishna, I surrender to Shiva, if you go to Indians. And then Western have their own, right? I mean, generally human beings all across the world, they have some prop, some connection to surrender to. It was an emotional surrender. There, that surrender, we don't know how it is transforming into. But here, it is the surrender means offering no resistance to how it is unfolding, how this consciousness is expanding. Lot of times people say, I do meditation, but I concentrate, I focus on my breath. That is also meditation. And somebody says, I focus on some word, mantra. But all these things are when you take an object for the meditation, something, sound is a vibration, mantra is a vibration, words, sound, all this basically doesn't contribute to your expansion of the consciousness. Whereas in meditation, when I subject myself to this unfolding, as it unfolds, the consciousness expands. As it expands, our experience of life changes. If that experience of life, if we call it as a spiritual experience, you can call it, but it is an experience at a different conscious state. There are experiences at a lower conscious state, there are experiences at a higher conscious state. That's the only difference. But at the end of the day, it is an experience. So, but what does that experience really means to you? It doesn't mean anything. It only means that I'm ready, I should prepare myself for the next unfolding. So it goes on as our consciousness expands.
So then for our life unfolding and our spiritual consciousness expanding, kind of interweave between them?
Correct, right. So, and what happens is with this unfolding, it drops it without absorbing it. A lot of times, like yesterday I was talking to somebody, how to have a spiritual experience. Okay, I gave this example to him. Once we are driving with Chareji, who is our previous teacher in Dayton, Ohio, and there was, I think, some skunk passed on the road or some dead on the road, something like that. You could smell the skunk. And he said, oh, nice, somebody's brewing a nice coffee. He said, somebody's brewing a nice coffee. So to him, that smell felt like the coffee.
To me too. That's so funny.
Huh?
To me too. Skunk
Right.
smells like coffee.
So it's brewing the coffee. And so that's why, whatever the experience, our experience of a particular state is according to our consciousness. But we say this is not the higher experience, we drop it. Accept it the way it unfolds to you. See, all this is surrender. Accepting is also surrender. So as we accept, as it unfolds you, then I don't have to say it is something else. The problem is we don't trust the experience, the feeling, the shift in the consciousness which happens in our meditation. We don't trust it because our idea of the divine essence is something else. And we don't know what that is. Why can't you trust what is given to you as an experience? Correct? So then it unfolds. See, I'm not trying to belittle any other practices or any other approach. If my computer dies, I'm going to connect back. I think it's asking to install something, but until then we can continue. So you can, yesterday somebody said, I do this mantra practice. I said, you can do it. Then he asked me, what is the difference? If you are doing something, if you are happy with it, don't ask me what is the difference. If you think that is not helping you all the way, then you ask me, I'll tell you what I am doing. So I'm not trying to belittle anyone. I'm not trying to hurt any sentiments because now this is an open quorum and we are trying to be open to all ideas. I'm telling you what I am thinking, what it is. Go ahead, Sai brother. You have to unmute.
Hello, brother, and everyone. Good evening. Just had a question. I was looking at the video one of the days. regarding the point A, B, C, and D.
Right.
Daji had got that point C in about 2000s or somewhere, was telling. So I know that we are doing the point B meditation in the morning and point A in the night. And there was one speaker who was telling that you do the cleaning on the point B and try to concentrate on point A when you do the meditation. What about C and D? C is for dislikes and likes, and D is for the guilt. Do we at all focus on those things as well, or you just concentrate only on the B
Okay.
cleaning?
So now coming to these points, right? I mean, I'm kind of going on one thought process, but I'll come back to you, Sai brother. So this unfolding, understand this. I'm kind of repeating this unfolding. The reason is we must be ready to accept these changes. So spiritual journey is constantly moving. So when we are in a constantly moving state, if I cannot adjust to this moving state, it's very difficult. We like one state, being at one constant state, and we enjoy, we kind of cherish. It's like, even the most highest state, in Indian scriptures, it is known as Sat Chit Anand. It's known as the highest bliss one can experience. And somebody asked Babuji, what about that? He said it's like the insect. There is an insect which actually lives in cow dung. Okay, the insect relishing the cow dung is same as Sat Chit Anand. He said a highest state he basically compared with the most lowest sensual state. So as we are relishing with these spiritual states also, they become very sensual. A real true spiritual person is ready for the next state instead of kind of relishing the same state again and again and again. Then it becomes a sort of an addiction. We don't want that in our system. We want to constantly keep moving. Even the most highest state we achieve, we want to see what is the next state. So it's a continuous journey. Now,
So to answer Cliff's question, it's where are we going during meditation? It's just constantly just moving
right
towards the center, towards infinity.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Well, that's the question. Towards.
Towards. It's like when you ask the kids, they'll say because, and then they won't answer after that.
So Cliff, the routine answer in meditation is experience it.
No, I don't like that also, right? Let it unfold.
Okay, unfold.
Yeah. So because now experience is also something, an expectation. So here there is no expectation.
You don't have to have expectation with experience. You experience and go to the next.
Yeah, that's why
But
I'm
I like
saying,
the word unfolding. I agree.
right. So coming to this general aspects of the practice, point B cleaning or A point B cleaning and A meditation. So in the B cleaning or A meditation, it's mostly in the B cleaning, because the impressions are descending down to this is the lowest point. We are cleaning all those impressions which are gathered from the frontal point, the B point cleaning. And again, I will repeat as many times as I can repeat. Concentration, focus are not the words for meditation. We have to remove the word concentration from the dictionary if we are a meditator. We have to remove the word focus from the dictionary if you are a meditator. Remove it. That word doesn't exist. Okay? And the point A meditation is we allow with a supposition that all existence, or all are my brothers and sisters, and all existence is, touched with the divine principle. And that's it. That's the simple supposition. We wait. Meditation means wait. We wait for it to unfold again. What is the purpose of waiting? To unfold. So every aspect here is unfolding. And what about C? C is all. C, through point C, we interact with the external world and we are creating the impressions through the C. So what is the remedy for C is because it's constantly happening. The C, interacting with the world, is constantly happening. So the remedy for C is to develop the divine remembrance. Again, what is divine remembrance? The deepest state, the unfolding which happens in your meditation, hold on to that state until the next state is given. So if I am in that state, my interactions with the external world does not create any impressions on me, because there also I am not offering any resistance to the interactions with the world, good or bad. So then there is no impressions created. So what is the remedy for C? Again, be in remembrance. Now then D point, Babaji gave a very specific instruction. Before we do our bedtime prayer, submit yourself to this higher presence within you and repent for all the mistakes knowingly, unknowingly done. Knowingly, unknowingly. So when we kind of make that as a practice, the guilt, if at all there is any guilt which is accumulated through our actions, we can drop it before we go into sleep. So that is the aspect of dealing with the guilt. So that is maxim 10. Repent for all the mistakes committed and resolve yourself not to repeat it again. And then go in there. Otherwise, we go in front of the Lord and say, I am a sinner, I am a sinner, I am a sinner, forgive me, absolve me. Okay, absolved, and again tomorrow I am a sinner for the same sin. So when are we going to grow out of it? If I am a true spiritually inclined person, so-called, I must be able to get over all these lower tendencies as quickly as possible. I would say within 6 months of practice, you should start getting out of it. You should align yourself to this unfolding process. Okay. So,
Thank you.
we'll stop here and then get into